Hello Libra, how are you? It is me, Lauren B, the floating head in the forest. Welcome to the Untitled Tarot. Most of you are new here, but for those of you that have been with me for a while, we used to film a lot of videos out here in the magical forest, particularly back in May and June. The end of May and June is when we used to film a lot out here. And I think that perhaps there could be something that you used to do back in May and June that you're just getting back around to doing now. We've used the Starseed Oracle for your read today. The first card that you have out is a new earth. It's happening. Keep holding that vision. A new earth. A new relationship. A new way of looking at something, perhaps something that you used to do back in May and June that you stopped doing, stopped participating in, stopped communicating with. This could be a new job. A new dream, I'm hearing, Libra. A new earth. It's almost like a little kid on the bike and they're like, I'm doing it. I'm really doing it. Just walking towards it, right? Something that's much bigger than you. This could be your spirituality. Walking towards something that's much bigger than you. Completing some kind of emotional cycle for yourself. Walking away from it towards something new, fresh. You know, a change in perspective can change your life, right? Sometimes it's like you never have that day where you just wake up in the morning and you're like, I just feel brand new. Like, the Lord's mercy is good this morning. I don't know what happened to me while I went to sleep, but I'm feeling fresh. I'm feeling good. This is how this feels, Libra. It's lovely. It really is very lovely. The next card you have out is Star Ancestors. Hidden secrets. Lost wisdom. Look a little deeper. I think in dreaming this new dream for yourself, not wanting to feel so beholden to the past, perhaps, wanting to really feel free, like fresh, clean energy, like none of this, a little leaf fell on my head. Fresh, clean energy. Not feeling tied up to old things, old people, old habits I'm getting. Old ways of thinking, old places perhaps, where you work, where you spend your time, the people you spend time with. I think you really had to take a minute. And I think you perhaps realized that some of these problems, these ties, these attachments, these traumas, it's like they felt so much bigger than you, these problems. It's like David and Goliath, you know? It's like, this thing's so big. Like, how do I heal this? How do I fix this? How do I get out of here? How do I get away from these people? How do I restore these relationships? Like, what am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do here? This is so much bigger. This is higher than my pay grade. Higher than my pay grade, Libra. And so you went in a little bit. And you looked at yourself and you didn't want to, is what I'm hearing. Especially, I'm a rising Libra, so a lot of times it's like we don't like to admit when we like justice and we like everything, right? And so we always like to think that we're doing things like right from a higher perspective, always taking the high road. But Libras are people too. And so sometimes our feelings mix in, our hurts, our disappointments, they all kind of mix in, and then that can kind of distort a little bit our idea of what justice is in a situation, right? When we're including our emotions and everything else in it. And so it is a little bit about accountability as well. Perhaps you've been looking into your ancestry as well. Perhaps you've seen a pattern. Perhaps you've seen a pattern throughout your family, throughout your ancestor, your lineage. I'm hearing specifically lineage. This could be energetic in terms of going through your blueprint. Your kin's karma. Your kin's karma. Okay, Spirit. Really kind of going back to square one. Like, where did my people start? Where did we go wrong? Like, what have we done across the family line that has like led up to us being here? It's a little bit like when someone like your grandma tells you your family's cursed. That your family's cursed, right? It's something like a little bit like that. Like, how come no one is successful? Like, how come we all have alcohol issues? How come we all have this? Like, how come it's always a that? How come this is like, it feels like a cycle that wasn't just something like you experienced in your everyday life, but it's something that your parents went through and you noticed your siblings going through and like your grandparents. It's like cyclical cycles throughout the generations, really kind of stopping and like wondering what life would be like if it wasn't like that, if things were healed, if things were different, if you could get a new start, a fresh start, wake up and just feel restored, right? And I think a lot of it comes in, again, to accountability. Looking back and seeing like, well, This was my nurture, but is this my nature? And how do I go about fixing that? Kind of shedding off those layers of nurture, the drama and the trauma and all the stuff that life throws on top of us, right? There's a story. I'm getting a lot of alcohol stuff. I don't know why. I mean, probably I know why, but there's a story about a psychologist, and there's two sons that come into his office, and their father is an alcoholic, and one of the sons is an alcoholic and the other one is sober. And the psychiatrist asked one of the sons, why do you drink? And he goes, well, because my father drank. My father's an alcoholic. And he asks the other one, there's a huge spider web and the wind is picking up, and so that is what's happening right now. The other son, Libra, the psychologist asks, why are you sober? And he goes, because my father was an alcoholic. It's really kind of making that decision. Do we want to perpetuate the cycles that, and the lessons and the I wouldn't say like breeding, like the breeding that is put onto us? Like, we don't realize that it's not just society that molds us. Our family molds us too. It's like when I'm getting this stuff, so it's very specific. I'm almost getting, it's like when you're a little kid, when you're a little girl, and you walk past your mom in the hallway and she's looking in the mirror and she's like, oh, I'm so fat. Like, you don't realize that you internalize that. So then you get older and then you look at yourself in the mirror and just instinctually feel like you're supposed to feel unsatisfied, right? And just be like, oh, I look so fat, and then saunter off. It's a thing with that. It's like these internalized things that we don't realize have become part of our sort of internal infrastructure, the way we feel about things. But in reality, that's not really who we are. It's just like a learned behavior, a learned thought pattern, like imposed negativity. I'm also getting a lot of like defeatist energy, like, well, no one else was able to do it, so why do you think you're going to be the one to do it? Something like that too, a little passive aggressive, but really dreaming a new dream for yourself and deciding like, no, I'm going to go in and I'm going to look at this stuff and like, I'm going to dream something new, a new earth, a place where life can look green, a place where life can grow, right? Weight of the world, boundaries, let it go. It's not yours to carry. I think after this, Nancy Drew Hardy Boar mission that you're going on through your lineage, through yourself, maybe your old past lives, old karmic ties, right? Times that you participated in toxicity. I think you realize very much like here, like so much of it is so much bigger than you. It involves so many other people, so many other people's hurts and traumas and their learned behavior and their internalized oppression and all of this stuff. That like the only thing you really can do is take the weight off your shoulders. Take your accountability, learn your lessons, gain your wisdom, dream your new dreams, and then let it flow. That you can't submerge yourself in the weight of the world, in generations full of disappointment, in decades full of heartbreak. Like, what are you going to do with that? What are you going to do with that? You got to learn from it, right? Take what you can use. Virgo season, pulp from the juice. Squeeze all the juice out that you can, and then leave the pulp. Let it compost. It's all right. Maybe there's something with you taking an actual bath or laying in the ocean. Something about laying in the ocean, because I'm getting like bath, like salt bath, being in the ocean, a purification, some kind of liquid purification. That's maybe not alcohol. Maybe you're doing a cleanse, Libra. Maybe you're doing a cleanse. And I see back here, it's like this flow in of positive energy to like soothe you. Because she's not floundering, she's not swimming, her eyes aren't open, she's just relaxed in it, realizing I can only control myself. I can only do what I can do to help myself, and by helping myself get in the best place, I will just unintentionally or intentionally, I will just naturally flow into others. Like, it will just benefit everyone. A little like the Virgo sun video that we were doing. It's like, as I, body, mind, and soul, as I take care of myself better, like I just naturally help the collective. I don't have to take on more than my pay grade. I don't have to take on more responsibility in my life that I already I'm trying to deal with the responsibilities that I already have, let alone taking on new ones. I don't have to go out of my way all of the time to please others or be a hero. I can just be Libra. It's beautiful. Lifting the veil. Question everything. Anything unaligned must go. This could be people, places, or things. Absolutely. Could be the sauce. Could be society. Could be media, your social media, maybe. Taking a social media break, Libra. But I'm getting it's It's more mental. It's cerebral. It's doubt. It's almost like it's too exhausting to keep hating myself. It's too exhausting to keep beating myself up over these old situations, over these old mistakes I made, where I went wrong, or this or that. It's like I can't do anything with it. It's unproductive. Pessimism is unproductive. It's different than doing shadow work. It's different than having an ego death. It's different. Just pure, unadulterated pessimism is unproductive. Be like, it's gotta go. I have to like let the light shine in. But I'm hearing that song. Who sings it? It came up in I think in a Capricorn video a couple months ago. Let your love flow. Let your love flow. It's like that. Like a mountain stream. Let your love grow in the strangest of things. It's you, Libra. It's like I said, it's like you wake up in the morning and you feel restored. You just kind of like open up the blinds and it's like the first time you saw the sun. It's like the first time you saw morning. Just amazed by it. Just like the feeling of just like getting it off you. Just like releasing this weight of the world. Releasing the feeling that like you have to be the one to fix everything. You have to be the one to break generational curses. You have to be the one to like fix your parents or be the spiritual headship of your family, right? Just like none of it. Like it's not your business, and it's not your problem. And most of it's not your fault either. The stuff you do is your stuff, and you deal with your stuff. We all do. But everyone else is. One spirit takes everyone. It takes everyone to do the whole thing. You just serve your part. Stay in your lane, I'm hearing. It's like you have your own work to do on yourself, for the world, for the collective. You can shine a light big and bright deep in the heart of Texas. Maybe you're from Texas. Prayers to Texas and Louisiana, by the way. I live in Jersey. I know all about hurricanes, so blessings to them. Earth School, Libra. Life lessons, soul growth, study, higher learning. So maybe you're deciding to go back to school. Earth School, in your new earth. We call this walking it out around here. We walk it out. We walk it out. Putting your money where your mouth is. It's when you say that you are going to give up these disappointments, or let's use an example, Libra. Let's say, holy shit, this spider web is so much bigger than I thought it was. Oh, that makes sense for your reading. Oh, I thought it was the one right here, but there's a huge one right there too. It's really good. It means abundance. The channel's doing well. Thank you, everybody. We're going to move back a little bit. Oh, sweet Lord in heaven. Okay, going back. Earth School, Libra. Earth School, Libra. Really walking it out. Trying to decide, like, I'm going to give up being defensive about relationships. Feeling like I'm never going to find love. Like, well, then when you meet somebody, like, putting that out there. Like, walking it out. Like, not making them pay for the consequences of the person that came before them, kind of thing, right? Like, if you say you're not going to beat yourself up about times you didn't do well in school and you want to go back, that when you walk into that classroom or you click on for your virtual session, right, you do so with confidence, with excitement. Really, really putting your money where your mouth is. Really putting in practice the new principles that you've set for yourself. When you say you're not going to overextend, don't overextend. Don't go back on the promises that you made to yourself. Perspective. None of this matters. Zoom out. Common ground. You are a sovereign being. You have a big soul mission. You're a big spirit in a body, and you're in the floating head in the middle of the woods, Libra. Perspective. Because there's a big world out there. There's a big, what's that song? I got the whole world in my hands. It's a big world out there. There's a lot of things to do. There's a lot of things to see. There's a lot of ways to look at things. There's a lot of ways to love. There's a lot. So put it in perspective. Everybody's got problems. Sometimes things don't shake out even, but they do. Because if something goes uneven in one situation, the universe doubles it in another situation. Energetically, it all comes out in the wash. So don't stress it. It's gonna be fine. You're gonna be just fine. Don't let these people bother you. Don't carry on other people's problems. You have your own stuff to deal with. You don't have to carry on other people's burdens. Feel like you have to save the family. No, it's okay. Zoom out. It's just a class. just a class. You're gonna go. You're gonna do great. You're gonna do super great in school, Libra. It's a new job. It's gonna be a little bit scary, but you're gonna learn because you're smart. It's gonna be fine. Put it in perspective. There's a lot for you to do and see and experience and explore out here in the great wide open. One day, the things that are driving you crazy right now, things that are kind of freaking you out a little bit, like these huge spider webs, one day, they're gonna seem so small behind you, like a little dot in the sky, because you will have ascended, you will have grown, your forest will have bloomed so big and bright that you wouldn't even notice these webs, these things, unless you stopped and you looked real close. You turned your head real fast, just caught out of the corner of your eye, and just be like, huh, well, I have other things that I have to focus on right now. And so you go. And so you go, Libra. It's really cool. The energy is really cool. It's very full circle. Literally, new earth school, let go of the weight of the world perspective. It's like chef's kiss. My compliments to the source. I couldn't have pulled them better myself. Except I did pull them myself. Thank you for your help. I love you, Libra. Welcome to the magical forest. I think the next video we're gonna do inside. I don't know who it's gonna be, but I'm getting bit up out here. But I love you guys. It's really fun to be out here. There's a lot more of you than there have been. And so I'm taking on a lot more energy. And so I think it's helping me. I feel like every time I go to do the weeklies, like the way I do them, the way I read them, my energy, it's always different. Like I'm evolving constantly, as you guys are, which I think is very representative of that. But I'm taking on a lot more energy. So periodically I might like pop out for a little nature walk, field day reading, just because the open space, it helps my energy. I need more room. There's a lot more people. I gotta spread it out a little bit, spread my wings. So I love you, Libra. I hope that you enjoyed this. I hope that you were able to take something out of it. You're doing great. You're doing amazing. So just keep going. I love you. I will see you next time. Goodbye.